Ever since The Boys Season 1, I completely fell in love with the character Black Noir. And I know that might sound weird to some people because for the longest time, this man barely even spoke. He was just standing there in the background acting mysterious and somehow still was one of the coolest characters in the entire show. But that was exactly what made him work. He was just cool because he was different. He had this strange presence where every time he showed up, you know something was about to happen. He was the Seven's personal assassin. Like if Vought ever needed somebody gone quietly and efficiently, they did not send a whole team, they just sent Black Noir and the mission was probably already over before it even started. And he was one of the only soups besides Homelander who could actually pull up on the boys himself multiple times and basically win every single fight. Now of course he never actually killed the boys because let's be honest, if there are no boys then there is no show. But still, every time Noir showed up, it felt like the characters were in actual danger. He just walked in, handled business, and dipped like it was just a regular Tuesday. But what made the original Black Noir even better was that he wasn't just a badass, he actually had layers to him. One of the moments that really stuck with me was in season 2, when he found out the truth about Compound V. This dude was sitting there in the Vought Tower crying because he realized he had been lied to his entire life and he wasn't born with powers. His whole identity gets shattered and he doesn't even need to say anything for you to understand how much that hurt him. Then in season 3, we finally got to see what was really going on inside his head. We saw him talking to those cartoon characters, which, sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud, but in the show, it actually made him more tragic. It showed how much trauma he went through in his earlier years, especially after what Soldier Boy did to him. So even though Black Noir never talked, you could still relate to him in this way. That is why when they killed him off in season 3, I was genuinely sad, and I'm not even going to lie, it kind of made me not even want to watch season 4 at all. I was like, brother, if Black Noir's not in this show, then I don't even want to watch. And I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I'm watching a show and one of my favorite characters dies, sometimes I just completely lose interest. But I gave the show the benefit of the doubt, and I still watched season 4, and to my surprise, they brought Black Noir back. At first, I was confused. I was like, wait, hold on, this isn't actually Black Noir, he can talk now? And that was a huge adjustment because the original Black Noir's whole thing was that he just didn't talk. So when Black Noir 2 showed up and was suddenly having conversations, I had to kind of get used to it. He was basically a new guy thrown into the suit trying to play a role he did not fully understand. And at first, I was not sure if I liked that at all. Like, you already killed the real Black Noir, now you're giving us this replacement who talks way too much? That could have gone wrong very fast. But as season 4 went on, I actually started to like him. I was like, okay, I'm kind of digging this. For one, bro could fly, and I was like, wait, this is actually really cool. Original Black Noir was already dangerous on the ground, so if this new version could fly, maybe there was potential here for him to be even better than the original. Maybe with enough time and training, he could become something even more dangerous. Not better than the original in terms of, character arc, but maybe stronger in universe. And the talking was not as bad as I thought it would be, and I liked that he was trying to honor the original Noir by staying quiet sometimes. The whole method acting thing was actually really funny because it showed that he was aware of the role he was playing, but he was also terrible at fully committing to it. Then when they paired him with the Deep, I started to enjoy the character even more. Those two had surprisingly funny chemistry. Every time they were on screen together, their energy bounced off each other in the dumbest way possible. The Deep is already an idiot, so putting him next to Black Noir 2, who is trying way too hard to be mysterious while also being clearly confused about the character, made for some genuinely funny moments. Bro! So by the end of season 4, I was like, okay, maybe Black Noir 2 is not that bad after all. Because maybe season 5 is where he actually starts to step things up. This is the last season, so they have to go all out with the character, right? Maybe he trains, gets stronger, and starts becoming his own version of Black Noir. Since he can fly, maybe he gets more confident, and in the next season, we see him sliming out everybody. That is what I hoped. And ladies and gentlemen, I could have not been even more wrong. Because in The Boys Season 5, Black Noir became one of the most useless characters in the entire show. What I'm about to say, just know that I am not joking. Because this man somehow became dumber than, yes, the Deep. And that is very hard to do. Being dumber than the Deep should be impossible, but somehow Black Noir 2 in season 5, he found a way. It all really starts with the Deep completely lowbroing him. The Deep gasses him out, leaves his body outside like a bag of trash, and then takes credit for Stan Edgar. That alone was pretty embarrassing enough, even though the Deep did catch him off guard, but still kind of embarrassing. Like, this is supposed to be Black Noir. Even if he's not the original, the suit still means something, and yet here he is getting treated like some random side character the Deep can just toss around. Then Noir gets his little get back by one-upping the Deep on his podcast, but even that just felt like such a nothing burger for Black Noir. Like, he didn't really gain anything. He didn't even gain any aura points back. He just still was at an all-time low. But because Noir embarrassed him, the Deep takes things even further. He goes and kills Noir's acting mentor Adam in the most gruesome way possible, and then to make it even worse, he blackmails Noir so he cannot say anything. And at that point I was sitting there like, brother, what are we gonna do with this character at this point, brother? Come on, man. Because instead of Black Noir becoming more dangerous, he just became the Deep's punching bag the whole season. Like, he was just constantly getting played, bullied, or humiliated by one of the dumbest members of the Seven. And then of course we get to the oil spill situation. The Deep gets framed for the oil spill, and in retaliation he kills Black Noir. And that whole fight between the Deep and Noir was honestly just comical. I was watching it like, there is no way they're doing this. You're telling me Black Noir cannot fly out of that chokehold, or maybe just not even fly out of the chokehold, maybe just fly backwards and make the Deep actually work for this chokehold. Like, do something that makes the Deep work for this kill. Like, you're not just gonna sit there and then just die outright. Actually, yeah, I'm actually just gonna sit here and die outright. Screw actually trying to fight back. Now, to be fair to the writers, Noir was caught off guard. The Deep did sneak up from behind Black Noir and then put him in a chokehold, but still, come on, man. Because all Noir had to do, again, was just launch himself backwards and fly out of it. Or not even fly out of it, just literally almost get out of it. I don't know. And look, I am not mad that Black Noir died this season. I'm actually glad the show finally has the guts to kill off main characters this season, especially in episode 1. The problem is how they killed Black Noir. Because if you are going to bring back the suit, make it better. If you're going to replace one of the coolest characters in the show, do something interesting with the replacements. And granted, yes, they did do that in season 4, which I'm pretty thankful for. But in season 5, they could have done anything than just make him look like an idiot for the whole season and then have the Deep choke him out like he was just some random background suit. And that is what bothers me. Black Noir 2 did basically nothing this season except get embarrassed by the Deep. Like, what was the point of even bringing Black Noir back in season 4 if he's just gonna get a complete nothing burger in season 5? Honestly, at this point, I would have been way more happier with them doing the Black Noir clone twist at the end of season 5. You know, with Black Noir actually being Homelander at the end, I feel like that would have made way more sense than just killing Black Noir like this. But instead, we got this. A character who started as one of the coolest members of the Seven, ended up being remembered as the guy who got cucked by the Deep for an entire season, and then died in the most ridiculous way possible. And I don't know about you, but for me, that is one of the most frustrating character decisions in the entirety of The Boys. I'm not even just talking about season 5, in the entirety.